today is about bossism, as we've been discussing all week. These are tips from Bootz Tarot that will enhance your bequeathing punani in the aspects of majestically manifesting whatever it is that you would like to prosperously with passion. I just got an assist from Bootz Tarot, and the topic of conversation today is competition. Now, it is a true statement to say that the only competition and the only person that you should be competing with is yourself. It's true. Okay? It's true. But us as spiritual people, we tend to become a bit territorial about what it is that we are creating, even down to the essence of who we are as individuals, and that generates competition. Now, social Darwinism is a thing. That is the survival of the fittest. So let's just say 3 people do lashes and one person is booking a lot of clients and the other girl's not booking no clients at all. Well, she's probably going to quit lash school and go back to selling pussy in the middle of damn Fifth Avenue. Competition can also be a good thing. It can actually motivate you to get one up on the next bitch. I mean, back in the day when Lala Milan stole my content and blew up, I was so competitive and I felt the desire to bring her down and to lap her that it took me to LA to start accomplishing my wildest dreams. And honestly, hindsight looking back, if it hadn't have been for that instance and the competitive nature in me, and the vindication that I sought after she stole that Trap Queen song from my black ass, but that's a whole nother story. But it did evoke something in me that made me feel as if I needed to go get it, go after it. So it can be used as fuel. But oftentimes we are in a particular category, such as doing hair or nails or, makeup or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? And you're naturally being competitive to the next individual based upon you guys being in the same category. That honestly used to happen to me because I was gay and flamboyant. So much of myself, I identify with my sexuality and the expression of my gender non-binaryism that if there was another individual somewhat similar to myself in a particular environment, I would attempt to out-gay them. It's a thing. Now, I don't really give a damn no more because...
How you doing?
I mean, I'm mother. Good morning.
Morning, Rasputia. Oh, morning.
But that's the thing. I think it's a natural thing that's encoded in our DNA to be competitive for resources, even though we live in a technological age and resources are indeed abundant. Okay?
Will you please stop balling up, and so we can't even figure out what it is?
There's a place for everybody in what they do. But see, what competition does is it has you copying bitches. I don't like that, okay?
Woo, that'll do
what
it.
What competition will have you do is mimicking bitches. And these are the people who have disingenuous ideas to begin with. See, people who compete with people who have authentic ideas will never win. If something is birthed from divinity within you, then the only person that you're really competing with is the last analytical report that you've just performed on yourself. Okay? You can't be too concerned about, oh my God, my homegirl's doing lashes because I'm doing lashes right now. She's getting more clientele than me. What God has for you, it is for you. And if someone is mocking you because they see the end game, see, this is the thing with followers. And I'm not talking about you guys because you guys are my disciples. It's a little different the relationship we have around here. And if you just got here, then you need to stop it and sit down. Okay? But it's something to be said about when you have an authentic idea that you've gone to God with and that's birthed within you. You might have been inspired by Beyonce, but you're inspired by Beyonce to write your book. You're inspired by not to sit up here and sing Single Ladies and make a fool out of yourself on the goddamn internet. You understand? But competition is spawned specifically because people don't have authentic ideas. If every million person, there are a million people on the planet, if you pick one person out of those million ideas and you give them a particular craft, do you know how far advanced we would be as a species? But it's because of monkey see, monkey do. I see them making millions of dollars coming out with makeup, so I want to come out with makeup too. Therefore, competition is enlisted, and you're going to lose and fold and go back to Walmart. because you're operating operating on the tailwinds of someone else's divine inspiration. So us as authentic creators, us as people who go to source for our downloads, and the execution comes from a divinity as source, dissected as a deity, whether it be Jesus, Allah, Ganesha, you know, Tyrese. Ain't nobody here worship Tyrese. I'm sorry, I just talked to Tyrese, so that's why I'm in there. Anyway, ain't nobody finna worship you though, Tyrese. I'm sorry. But we did have a good appointment. I am attempting to deduce the fact that competition is imaginary. Because if you make egg custard and I make egg custard, your egg custard ain't gonna taste like my egg custard. Success is also enlisted because of reward. We base our level of success on how much money we get, or how much likes we get, or how much approval we get from the general public. When that person who has a mental illness making egg custard, just for them to make the egg custard is their reward. Aww. When you operate like that, you make room for God. When you operate like that, you make room for divinity. The homeless person on the side of the street may not sell out Madison Square Garden. He might not even have no food to eat, but he has a guitar in his hand and he's playing and singing. To him, he's Elvis. Aww. And he's not wrong. And he's not wrong. I wish I could, like, pin all of this together. To deduce all of it, what I'll say is this: competition is non-existent. You have to be steadfast on your goal, and your goal can't be a prosperous one, because if it is based upon monetary value, you're always going to be competing. Coincides with one of the 7 deadly sins that I discovered in this new upcoming project called 7 or 7 even, however you want to deduce it. You know, competition doesn't truly exist because we are no longer in an era where social Darwinism reigns supreme. It is no longer the survival of the fittest in resource sense. You know, if we take competition out of it, would you still do what you do? If the answer is yes, then fuck what anybody else doing. Is supported by the fact that competition was needed for resources at a point in time, but now resources, at least for my audience, runs abundant. You know, we don't operate on the paper dollar. We operate on prosperity. And as long as we are executing the ambitions that God has placed upon our heart, if we're trying to figure it out, come see me. I got your back on that, you know. If you're trying to figure it out and you do have conviction about it, stay focused on that. Then you're running a race all by yourself. And if that's the case, I'm going to do just like I did at the mile run in high school. Smoke a cigarette the whole time and skip 4 periods of school just trying to get through the 3rd lap. Ha! You doing?